If you're 30 years and above, these are the things that you need to do, change, or improve on, or otherwise you're going to get yourself into an ending circles of poverty, or probably die yourself in poverty. Because once you hit the third floor, there is a certain aspect of change that happens in your life. And if it hasn't happened and you're above 30, then you're going to watch these videos to understand. And perhaps if you happen to watch this video way before you hit your 30, then consider yourself lucky, because this is an essential video. I'm going to share with you step by step what are these things that you need to do so you don't get yourself into an ending circles of poverty, and what exactly are things that you don't need to do or is not expected of you. Guess what? Before we get into the video, I always post a video each and every day, and I post videos about tips, ways on how you can make money, manage your finances, how to invest, and where. If you don't want to miss any good of my video, it is free. Just take 1 second. Just down below there on your right, there is a button written subscribe. Hit that magical button, then give this your video a thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything. It is free of charge. And guess what? What happens once you do that? YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a new good video, so you won't miss a piece of any of my good video. All right? So enough with that, let's get into the video. So what exactly do you need or expected of you to do once you hit the age 30? And there's something I will tell you once you hit the age 30. At this particular age, there are things that actually get to change. One thing that you have to do or not to do at this particular point is that stop or cease flocking system. What exactly does it mean? If you have yourself like 4, 5, 6, 7 friends and you consider them as your friends, I am telling you, you're lost. What exactly do I mean by that point? At this particular age, you need to encircle yourself with strategic people. Meaning people who are assigned to different things. Say you got to have your lawyer with you, you have to have your engineer with you, probably one day you will construct, or probably you are constructing somewhere. You need to have a police officer at your side. You never know, this is life. You need to have a doctor at your side. You might eat something bad, or you need to have some understanding about one thing or the other. You might get up marrying and have a kid. You need to understand what's going on. I mean, you encircle yourself with strategic people who can be able to assist you or help you, or you can be able to help each other so that you grow yourself to the next level. But if you still hang around with flock of guys and you don't even help each other in one way or the other, then at that particular point tells you you're making a wrong decision. Number two, one thing that you're supposed to understand is this: stop compromising and sipping all the time. Meaning, like, let's say you're dating out there, you're about to marry or something of sort. You compromise even in a situation whereby you're really not required to do exactly that. What you're supposed to do, if you know this thing, you studied for the truth and it is only but the truth, then stand by it. No matter what happens to the next partner, but if it's the truth, then stand by that. Don't compromise, then don't simp. Be yourself, and this particular age, you're supposed to make yourself straight. Number three, make sure that you understand all your financial records. Meaning you have to understand exactly this is the amount of money that you earn, and this is the amount of money that go towards paying your rent, towards paying your utilities like the food, electricity, water, and what have you. You understand very well the numbers. You have them at your fingertips. If somebody just pulls up from nowhere and asks you how much do you consume in terms of your food, you already know the number. If you understand your numbers at this particular age, you know very well where you are heading. But if you cannot tell your numbers, you cannot even indicate and exactly explain to somebody, this is the amount of money that I usually set aside in terms of my savings, then at that particular point, we consider you as a lost sheep. Meaning that you're supposed to understand exactly, it's required of me to save at least 20% of whatever I earn towards my savings. Because at this particular point, you are at prime, maybe probably you got your job, your start becomes stabilized, or you're becoming stable, meaning like in terms of your thinking, in terms of your consumability, and whatever, you understand yourself very well. At this particular point, probably in some few years to come, you'll be a father, you'll be, paying school fees and what have you. So you need to understand yourself very well once you hit the age of 30. But if you just hang around with guys who don't even tell you like, it's good to, to drink or do something of sort. And I'm not saying that entirely you're not supposed to drink. You can go ahead and do that for specific thing. But the point is this: ask yourself at the end of the day, how much am I getting aside in terms of my saving and investment, just for the sake in case of anything happens? You have to be a responsible person, especially at that particular age. If you hang around with people who tells you like, hey, life is short, life is for the living, it's good to make yourself happy, all those things are true. It's also true to say that actually life is not as short as you thought. And by the way, when you hit your 40, that's the time you realize it wasn't as short as you thought. That's the reality about life. All right. So let's get into the next point. Don't try to fit in What I mean by that particular point is this: you find people at this particular point you miss, or you fear missing out from their friends where they're hanging around, where they're hanging out somewhere. You fear missing out, and probably you think like if you end up not, being or joining them, then you might lose them and what have you. Let me tell you one secret: as you grow older, the time you realize that you don't have to give a damn, meaning that you don't have even to be understood. All right, simply meaning that is that you have to make sure that you're making a decision, or you're making a step based on your own understanding, based on your own financial acceptabilities. You're not doing anything to somebody just to make them that you please them so that you can fit in. If you are a teenager and you have a crowd of people whom you hang around with, then that means it's okay for you to try as much as you can, because at that particular age you're trying to self-identify yourself. But by the time you're hitting 30, I'm pretty sure aware that you already know who you are. You know whether you are slow to anger. You know whether you have a problem with money, the way you utilize your money. You know if you have a problem with the way you relate with people. You know that if you have a money, if you have a problem with patience and concentration and all those kind of things. I understand, or I fully expect you to be well understood of yourself, that you know exactly what are your boundaries and such kind of a thing. So the point is this: at this particular age, it's always good not to try as much as you can to fit in. If the group does not allow you to do exactly that, then don't go ahead and do that specific thing. Personally, I don't drink, and if you are my friend and you do drink, and if it means me hanging with you, that means that us having a drink, then we better even not hang around or hang out with you. As simple as that. That's how you do your things. You make sure that you're understood even by your friends. Yeah, understand that at times you've rubbed shoulders with them, but as the time grows or the time goes, they'll come to understand this is what you stand for. And if they fail to understand after all, then you don't have to explain to them and tell them this is what we do, or this is who I am, and such kind of a things. That's how you do it. The other thing is that one thing they're supposed to do: don't try as much as you can to be get understood at all the time. You find a lot of people tend to have this sort of an anxiety that, and in anything and everything that you say, you have to be understood. Every people that you hang around or concentrate or maybe interact with, you have to make them understand you. You realize one day, in most of the people that we live in this world, that most of them are average in terms of their thinking. And if you happen to be a bit different in terms of thinking and such kind of a thing, then you'll tend to be misunderstood almost all the time. So one thing that you're supposed to do is this: make sure that it's not a must you get understood. All right. Sometimes this can even rub shoulders even with your parents, with your siblings, with your what have you. So it is good to make sure that it's not a must you get understood by all people about all the time. So make sure you stand for, and that what you stand for, it's actually not only beneficial to you, but beneficial to also those people who are immediate to you. All right. So one thing that you're supposed to understand at this particular age: make sure that at least you understand yourself. You understand who you are. You understand your shortcomings. You understand your strength. You understand all things that you know in terms of your financial records. You have your financial records correct with you. You know how much you consume in terms of your rent. You know how much you consume in terms of your house. You know how much you consume in terms of utilities like water, electricity, and what have you. How much you set aside in terms of your clothing and what have you. You are thinking about starting an investment somewhere. If maybe it was late for you to start, all right, we expect you to have started all those kind of investment way back, maybe at your 28, 29, 30, and what have you. If the 30 has clocked, you haven't started any investment, then it's the high time you're supposed to think about starting an investment. And only that, this is the time now you make a decision now based on maybe having a family or something of sort. And if maybe you happen to have a family way before actually hitting this age, there is no crime with that. Okay, no one is perfect. You can actually get your thing together and actually progress to the next level. But this is the point: once you hit this age, stop compromising. Number two, stop like trying to make the best you can to make sure that you get understood by all the people. Number three, stop flocking with people. Stop amassing yourself a lot of huge number of guys and you're moving together on the roads holding hands, making unnecessary laughs and noises, and hanging in clubs and or bars, and making you be understood by almost everyone in that specific place. At this point, you need to concentrate on yourself. Sit down and think about yourself. Sit down and think about the future. Try to meditate about your life, where you've come from, where you are heading, what are your goals. You have that goal book that you've written, all the things that you'd love to achieve. Organize yourself, understand your records, and also don't simp out there all over the place. Then don't be a girl chaser if you're a man. If you're out there and you're trying as much as you can, this I'm telling you, the teenage life is gone. At this particular point, you don't have to, show people how masculinity you are by just grabbing anybody. No, no, no. What you're supposed to do is that concentrate on yourself, grow yourself, and also make sure that at least you do a responsible thing so that you don't get yourself into problems. All right. So anyway, guys, guess what? If you've managed to watch this video up to this particular point, and maybe it's your first time, I just want to say thank you. And my name is Joseph. Talk about money, investment, and anything related to that what affects you financially and socially. If that's a cup of your coffee, then consider this place a home by doing what? Just liking this video and also subscribing to be a member, joining this member channel, and as well comment down below, tell me what you think, because I'm a believer you got something that as well I can learn from. So all I can say for now, it's a goodbye. But don't forget, I'll leave my number on the description of this specific video. You can grab that number, give me a call. Why? I offer services pertaining to consultation, financial things, and such kind of a thing for just a cup of coffee. I also have booklets for you. I have booklets about investments, about businesses. I have business plans, a lot of them. A copy, it's only 280. Get that number, give me a call, or text me on WhatsApp. You get your copy. We get started as early as this. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel again.